Hey, welcome to the Health with Hashimoto's podcast. This is the podcast where you are going to learn simple and sustainable things that you can do to impact your overall health and specifically your immune health for your Hashimoto's, your thyroid health, everything that is impacted by Hashimoto's thyroiditis. My name is Esther. I'm a registered nurse, and it is my honor to bring this podcast to you every single week. Now, in December, I'm doing something I don't think I've ever done on the podcast, and we are doing some replays. I looked at 2024 and the most popular 3 episodes. We're going to do those again in December for everybody who hasn't listened to all of them, or because they are so popular, maybe you want a refresher. And one thing you should know is that towards the very end of the year, I switched us from an app, a standalone app, to the school communities. So now you can join the Health with Hashimoto's community on School, SKOOL.com, and you will find the Health with Hashimoto's community there. You can also find it down in the show note. All right, the second most popular episode of 2024 was episode 83, all about supplements. What are the best supplements for Hashimoto's? So in this replay, I'm going to introduce you to Fullscript, which is kind of like the Amazon of good quality supplements. And I'm going to tell you why I take supplements, and that's for 2 reasons. The first one is to get my body to do what my body is designed to do. Those are called activators. You do not find those on Fullscript. And then the other one is the other reason I take supplements is to fill gaps like vitamin D, minerals, adaptogens, fish oil, things like that. Enjoy this replay of episode number 83. Out of the over 20,000 supplements that are on the market, how do you know which ones to take if you have Hashimoto's? It's a great question, and it might be one that you have asked because it's been asked of me many times. And that's what we're going to talk about today on the Health with Hashimoto's podcast. Thank you for joining me. I am Esther. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a holistic health educator. I'm the mom of 4 boys, and I have Hashimoto's. And so you better believe that I have dug into this topic a lot. So I first started learning about supplements in nursing school, probably, before that, but when I was in high school, I didn't pay any attention. And then in nursing school, I discovered that, or I was taught that nobody really needs supplements. You can get everything that you need from your food. Well, I graduated from college, and then I was introduced to scientists and doctors who are like, well, no, actually, our food is more depleted than it used to be. Our environment is more toxic and more stressful physically and emotionally, like all of the ways it's more stressful, which causes more nutrients to be needed by our body. And so, yes, you actually do need supplements. And so I learned that, early out of college, and at first I was conflicted, and I researched. That is my go-to. When I have a question, I dig into the research, and I do not want hype. If somebody sends me an ad or, a reel or any type of marketing, I am immediately like, nope. Do not send me marketing, send me science. So I dug into the science, and I realized, what? The scientists and the doctors who are telling us that there's actually less nutrients in our food and more of a need for nutrients, they are the ones that are correct. And I will give you this quote by a famous doctor. His name is Dr. Mark Hyman, and he is like one of the leading doctors in the functional medicine world. And he says this: if you eat only wild food that you hunt and gather, drink pure clean water, breathe clean air, have no chronic stress, and are exposed to no environmental toxins, and you sleep 9 hours a night, then you don't need vitamins. But the rest of us do. So I don't know about you, but I fall into the rest of us category there. I do not eat only wild food that I hunt and gather. I drink my own water, and I think it's clean. I breathe the air in the country. We have less pollution than in the cities, but still it's, we've got stuff in the air because airplanes fly overhead and tractors and stuff spray the crops around my house. So I don't always breathe clean air. I do have chronic stress. I am exposed to environmental toxins, and I do not sleep 9 hours a night. So like you, I need vitamins. And what we're going to talk about today is like all of the supplements. We're going to talk about what is helpful. And I'm going to lead you through my flow chart of what do you need when. Now, Of course, at the end of every episode, I give you the disclaimer because that's what we're required to do in the United States. We have to give you a disclaimer if I am educating you about stuff. So here's the disclaimer at the front today. It'll also be at the end. This education that I'm providing has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Any product that I talk about today is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. I am providing education to you as how your body works, what impacts Hashimoto's, and what impacts a healthy thyroid, and what tools can be used. I'm not prescribing or recommending treatment. You, as my listener, you will be making your own decisions based on the information that you have learned. My job here as your holistic health educator is to educate you, to give you the information that you need and that you want in order that you could take the next step. So let's go through my flow chart. It is already on a blog post for this episode. So on the website, healthwithhashimotos.com, you can go to the podcast and you can see a blog post for pretty much every single episode. Today's blog is already up. The transcript is not up there yet because obviously I do the transcript after I speak it, but the flowchart is already there. So you can go to healthwithhashimotos.com. You can head down to the show notes. There's a clickable link and you can look at this flowchart. Also, after the flowchart, there's a little printable picture so that you can fill it in and write down what you want after you learn the information. All right. So at the very top of my chart that I've created, I created this first for my clients, my private clients. I want you to know that you are the CEO of your own health. You've heard me say that before. You make the decisions. I am here to help educate you. Your doctor is on your team to help educate you. Obviously, if you have any questions, consult with your doctor. We are all here to support you as the CEO of your own health. Now, the foundation of any supplement plan that you do, the foundation is actually sleep, stress, and hydration. That is how I see it. Because at the root of your health are those three things: how much and how well you sleep, your stress level, and then how hydrated you are. When we're dehydrated, things don't work well. So those are the three things that you always want to be focusing on. And those three things can change daily. Make sure that you're working on them. When you go to the website and you look at that second page of this flowchart, there's a spot that says, how are you, or one way that I will work on these foundations of health over the next 2 weeks. I always want to encourage you to pick one thing to work on. If you pick too many things, then nothing gets done. So how are you going to work on sleep, stress, and hydration? Okay, and then after that foundation of health, now we go through the different things to look at for products. So number one is activation. Activating your own body's pathways is so important. We have different pathways within our body that slow down as we age, and we can activate them to speed back up, to do what they're supposed to do. You've heard me talk about some of the pathways before. The NRF2 pathway is my favorite because it controls the oxidative stress. It controls how much damage is being done. It controls your body's creation of antioxidants. It is so powerful. And you have a different pathway called the NRF1 pathway. The NRF is a really long word, and it's just, chemical or chemist speak because they discovered it. And so the NRF1 pathway, it controls your mitochondrial health. So that's the little energy production of your cell. Those are obviously very important too. Almost every single disease comes down to or has some mitochondrial component because you need healthy, energetic cells to work well. And then also you can activate other things like your own collagen production. Now, about a year and a half ago, the first activator of collagen came onto the market, at least the first one that I know of. Now there have been additional ones. The collagen market, the collagen, industry is growing by billions of dollars. So maybe by the time you listen to this, there will be even more products on the market that help you activate your own collagen production. The one that I choose, I just shop at the activation company. It's called LifeVantage. A lot of their products promote the activation of your body to do what it's designed to do. And then other products come alongside and give like the needed ingredients. Because obviously, if you're going to create a whole bunch of antioxidants, you need the raw ingredients to do that. So I shop at LifeVantage. You will see the affiliate link down below in the show notes. It's also on the blog so that you can go there. The activating collagen that I use is from LifeVantage. It has 10 different types of collagen in it. Most collagens on the market have one type or two types, but you have so many different types of collagen in your body. And why is this important if you have Hashimoto's? It's because your gut is so important for immune health. And you have probably heard me say on the podcast that everybody with an autoimmune problem has a genetic component, a gut component, and one or more triggers. Well, activating the different pathways addresses that genetic components and addresses the gut. When you are helping your gut by providing it with better collagen, well, then the lining can be a little healthier. So collagen, well, we think of like hair, skin, and nails, which we obviously want to improve, especially as somebody with Hashimoto's. We also want to work on our gut. So activating your body to do what it is supposed to do, that is number one. After that, we move into supplements. So activation, I don't see as a supplement because it's different. It's activating your body to do what it's supposed to do. Whereas supplementing is filling in the gaps, filling in the diet, supplementing to where you don't get enough. And the first thing that we supplement is omegas. Providing your body with the building blocks that it needs is so important. Most Western diets are deficient in omega-3s, and you need omega-3s for healthy skin, healthy nerves, mental function, and so much more. And depression and anxiety, well, they run rampant in today's society. But also, when you have hypothyroid, you are at a really big risk for depression. So we want to make sure that our brain has the ingredients that it needs to be healthy. We always want to support our body in doing what it wants to do, and your body wants to be well. So the first thing we do is activate. Second thing is we supplement with the healthy omegas, and then we supplement with minerals. Most people are deficient in not one, but many minerals. And minerals are required for every single enzyme reaction in every single cell. And you have trillions of cells in your body, and they all need minerals for the enzyme reactions. Every time you move your muscles and relax your muscles, those need minerals too. So a multi-mineral can be helpful. I talked, was it last week, about magnesium at bedtime? So a multi-mineral is going to be different than just like a big mineral like magnesium or calcium. I do a multi-mineral every single day, and you can do that in different ways. I'll talk about what different brands and things in a minute. So you're going to supplement in the wholes, so omegas and then minerals, and then I look at other supplements because when you're activating your pathways, you are creating antioxidants, but you still need some in your diet, and you still need the healthy foods to provide things like phytonutrients. Those are basically colorful nutrients. There's also carotenoids. If you hear carotenoids, what do you think of? Do you think of carrots? I do. Carotenoids are the orange ones. They're really good for your eyes. They're good for your skin. They're good for other things. Did I say skins? Skin. You only have one skin. Flavonoids, resveratrol. Maybe you've heard of that one because it's in red wine and grapes. There's a lot of different micronutrients that we need that you might not be getting in your food. So if you're not getting them, then what do we call the things that we're plugging the holes? Supplements. So there's 3 things that we supplement: the omegas, the minerals, and the others. Now, some of these things that we supplement are related to the root causes. I have done a couple episodes on vitamin D because it has been linked to Hashimoto's and it is one of the root causes. So obviously vitamin D would be something that you supplement if you're not getting enough of it. And if you live north of Chicago and it's past the fall solstice? past fall, you can be outside all day naked and you can still not get enough vitamin D from the sun exposure. So we supplement in the winter. And if you're outside enough in the summer, then maybe you don't need to. Test your vitamin D. It's really cheap. It's like $40 and you can do it from home. There are other nutrients that you also need in order to have a healthy thyroid. Iodine is one that there's really good research for and really good research against supplementing with iodine. So what I have read that kind of comes down in the middle is have less than 200 milligrams a day. And that seems to provide enough iodine for your thyroid to produce thyroid hormone, which is 4 molecules of iodine, but it's not too much that pushes you over into problems. I honestly don't know if I will ever do an episode on iodine because there are such good research on both sides. And there are really, really smart people talking about supplementing with iodine and talking about restricting iodine. Personally, I have looked at it all and decided to experiment on myself. And I found that when I did extra iodine, I had more Hashimoto's symptoms. So I do not supplement other than what is in my multi-nutrient. And I take just a regular multi-nutrient, a really good one. I take one that is divided morning and night so that the nutrients in it don't compete with each other. Because a lot of nutrients, like if you take a one a day or a generic one a day tablet, not the brand, but anything that's once a day, there are nutrients in it that compete with each other in your body. And so you're not getting the full effect of what you're taking. So I take one, it's called Rise and Reset. Again, I get it from LifeVantage because it is designed to go in synergy with the other things like the NRF2 activator and the NRF1 activator and the collagen. It's all designed to work together to support everything. So that's the one I take. I take the Rise in the morning, obviously, and the Reset in the evening to get my nutrients and my minerals. It does have a small amount of iodine, which I have found that for myself, it supports me and it does not send me into having any symptoms of Hashimoto's. Instead, it supports me. Obviously, for everything that you do, you have to look at how things are working for you. And here's another thing about anything, supplement, activation, anything like that. You have to give your body time. Most people are not going to take anything like this and notice a difference within a day. Most people, you don't notice the bad stuff gradually happening until it's been going on for a while and it's been getting worse and worse. It's the same thing in reverse. To really give something like supplements and activation a good try, you want to give it a full month for every decade of life because it took you a long time to get to this point. And it's going to take your body a long time, not as long, but a long time to do what it's supposed to repair. You're supporting your body as it's doing what it is supposed to do. And so you want to give it time to fix the things that it wants to, right? So then the next question would be like how to combine things and where to find them. Well, I already told you I do the bulk of my shopping at LifeVantage because everything is designed to work together. Anytime that you buy something, not anytime, really good companies, they are going to design their products to all work together so that you are fully supported. And LifeVantage does that. So I get my activators from them. I get the multi-nutrient from them. The omegas, I actually don't. They have fantastic omegas. But this is what I do. I have a family of 6 and I look at what am I actually going to give everybody? I'm going to give them 1 tablet or 1 capsule a day. The LifeVantage Omega is really small and you take 3 a day, which is fantastic if you don't like to swallow big capsules or if you have kids and they're just learning to swallow, it's great. But I know that for my family, everybody is really good at swallowing things and they're only going to take 1 a day. So to get the best dose in them, I do a different one. Now, I shop at Fullscript, and that is kind of like Amazon. It's this huge online store with over 20,000 different products. When I was preparing for this episode, I was like, I can't send you to Fullscript because you have to have a link from provider. And then I was like, wait a minute, I have a provider number. So I went to FullScript and I have a link for you. So now you can drop down to the show notes and you can get to FullScript and you can shop at this store that's got 20,000 products in it. Every single one, according to what they say, has been checked to make sure that they are good, they're quality, that they have what they say they have in it. When you go to FullScript, when you click on my link, then click at the top, there's a little catalog tab. Click that, and under that, you will see it'll say Health with Hashimoto's and it'll say Esther's favorites. The things that I have put in that favorites are the things that I actually take daily, or the things that I have used in the past. Like there's a thyroid support, and I took that in the past. I do not take it now because I take that Rise and Reset and it has the nutrients that I need. So I don't take the thyroid support, but it has in that favorites thing, it has the fish oil that I decided to take. It has the vitamin D with K2. It has that in there. And it has the pre and probiotic. So everything is right there for you. FullScript has a subscription plan with LifeVantage. When you go on subscription, you save extra money. With FullScript, you don't save extra money. But when you use my link, you go directly and you get the baseline prices. I have the option to add a commission in there, and I decided not to. So you will get the base price, and then you can use subscription so that you don't run out. So those are the two places that I shop the most. And another thing that I look at when I am, shopping is how can I combine things so that they work really well, but also so that it's simple, because, the less is more. If I only have to do one product, then it's probably going to happen more than if I have to do 10. And then I look for the cost. There is a product on the market, is called Black MP, and it has fulvic and humic acid. Now, fulvic and humic acid, they're kind of like a college parent. They go to the dorms and they see what's missing and they bring in what's missing. And then they also look at the dorms and they're like, okay, this is the trash, and they take the trash out. That's kind of what fulvic acid and humic acid do for your cells. They bring in the good stuff and they take out the trash. They are really good if you are exposed to a lot of environmental toxins. Black MP has fulvic and humic acid, and also in their product, you can get it in powder or you can get it in a liquid. There's minerals. There's 77 different trace minerals, and there's electrolytes, and there's probiotics. So again, you're combining a lot of the different things that you naturally need in one product. So in the show notes and in the blog, I have links to those things. I have a link to the activation store, the LifeVantage. I have a link to FullScript, and then I have a link to that Black MP. Your body wants to do what it is designed to do, and it is your job to support it so that it can do that. I hope this episode has been helpful for you to learn how you can best support your body. If it has been helpful and you haven't left a review yet, would you do me a favor and do that really quick? It doesn't take very much time, less than a couple minutes, and it really supports this podcast to get out to more people. Also, you can send the episode to somebody if you've heard them say, I wonder if this thing is good. I wonder what I should be taking. This is my flowchart for everybody who I talk to, because it's pertinent for everybody. Whether you have Hashimoto's or you don't, you need to activate, you need to supplement with the things that are missing, like omegas, minerals, and other things. And then you give a targeted approach based on what you specifically are dealing with and are trying to support in your own body and your health. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. Please be sure to discuss any concerns and plans with your trusted healthcare professional.